Connor, let's go over your assignment. You probably already checked it. You did a very good job on this assignment. I was looking, punctuation, words from outline. Let me find the punctuation. Very good job. You've got your MLA heading, you've got your running head, you've got your title, you've got your source. This right here where it says Benjamin, this should be back. You've got this whole thing as a hanging indent, and so we need to take that off. Let's see if I can find where to take it off. Here we go. We want it none for the body so that we can indent the first line of the paragraph, because the source and the body paragraph do the opposite. The only error I found was a punctuation error, and it was right here where the Second Continental. In 1755, he was elected into the Second Continental Congress and was declared General Postmaster, as he had mapped the postal routes in 1762. And let me go ahead and get my pen. Right here, you do not need this comma. And that's the symbol for delete. If you see me do that on your papers in the future, that means delete. You don't need the comma. The reason you don't need the comma is we don't use commas for compound parts. Okay, so no commas if we have compound parts. And we do have compound parts, because if we don't have compound parts, we have a compound sentence, and this is just compound parts. So here you've got a little, you start with a prepositional phrase, and then here's your subject pronoun, and we have a helping verb and a verb into the Second Continental Congress. And this is another prepositional phrase. He was elected, and conjunction. So our conjunctions always tell us we have compound parts, and helping verb, verb. We don't have another subject right here. So this is a compound verb. And so when we have a compound verb that's a compound part, no comma. As he had mapped the postal routes in 1762. Now, if you wanted to put the comma here, another way you could have fixed this is to put a subject. In 1755, he was elected in the Second Continental Congress, and he was also. So if you would have had a noun on both sides of this conjunction, you would have a compound sentence, and compound sentences do need a comma. Okay, so they do need a comma. Compound parts do not. And when I say compound parts, I mean compound nouns, compound verbs, compound prepositional phrases, compound direct objects. Any compound parts do not get commas, but compound sentences do get commas. So that was the only error I found in your whole paper, and that's one of those little tricky ones, and I will keep watching for that. I will keep watching for that and helping you identify those things. You did a nice job on your outline. I could tell that you wrote from your outline, although some of the things were not on there. You had most of them here. You have the Articles of Confederation, 1 of 13, drafted. This right here, this 1 of 13, that's a little tricky because that's actually a phrase, and we want to stick with words because that helps us avoid plagiarism when we are rewriting someone else's work. Okay, your next assignment. For your next assignment, you seem to have gotten the hang of all the dress-ups. So for your next assignment, we are going to work on sentence openers. And we're going to concentrate on 2, subject openers and prepositional phrase openers. If I could type. And if you look here, and we're going to name them 1 and 2, so you can just put 1 and 2 in front of your sentences. That's a subject opener. Another subject opener. Here you have a prepositional opener. Here you have another prepositional opener. Okay, you have 4 sentences. So you already have your subject opener and prepositional openers. So you obviously know how to do that. So we're going to focus on our next sentence openers. We're going to do ly openers and ing openers. An ing opener is when you're actually starting a sentence with a gerund. Sorry, I don't know why that keeps popping up. You're starting your sentence with a gerund, and a gerund is when you have a verb form and you're using it as a noun. So you can start using gerunds and mark them with an ing. Let's put an ing in front of them when you do that. Running is healthy. And so you can see running is usually a verb, but I've used it as my subject, as a noun, and that is a gerund opener. The ly openers, you're just opening with an adverb. Happily, he went running. And let's just put an ly in front of that. So that's your next assignment. I want you to pick your own source. I want you to write about whatever you want to write about. So for your next assignment, the first thing you're going to do is pick your source. Okay, so our first thing is we always get our source. And then we do our outline. And I want 15 points on your outline. So when you pick your source, be sure and pick something that you can put 15 points on. This one has 5 over here, but I want you to be able to put 15. I think I lost my, yeah. After you outline, then you're going to write, and then you're going to dress up. And your dress ups, you're going to use our 5 dress ups and our 4 openers. Okay. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to do your formatting, or check your formatting. And when I say formatting, I mean your heading, your double space, your 1-inch margins, your running head. Make sure you have everything formatted like it should be. And also your source, use the citationmachine.net. You can pick any topic you want to write on. So for next week, I want you to send me these 2 things, your source and your outline. And if you feel like you can go ahead and do all 5 things in 1 week, that would be great if you could do the whole assignment. But usually it takes a while to find a source. And your source, your source needs to be an appropriate source because you're graded on that also, which means you need a source that has an author and a date and a publication. So you can't go to Wikipedia or someplace where no one's putting their name on it, and we don't know when it was published, and we don't know who is publishing it. It's best to go to like Fox News or National Geographic or whatever other interesting thing, there it goes again, other interesting magazine that you might like. And so pick a publication, make sure it has a date, and it's a bonus if it has an author. Always try and get an author, if at all possible, when you're writing for some other classes. That's real important for research that someone's putting their name on it. For this class, I want to make sure you know the writing techniques. That's why it doesn't matter to me what you write on. You can pick a sports figure, you can pick a president, you can pick a topic in science or history, anything that's interesting to you, because if it's interesting to you, it'll make for more interesting writing. So your assignment, get your source, make sure it's an appropriate source, and get me your 15-point outline. That's the end of the video.